Hello, my name is John Gillespie. I'm the Sheriff of Ventura County and the Director of Disaster Services. The video that you are about to watch has been created by our Office of Emergency Services to help you and your family to prepare for a major earthquake. It has been uniquely designed to assist the person who is deaf or hard of hearing in learning what to do before, during, and after an earthquake occurs. Pre-planning efforts will greatly minimize the effects that a major earthquake can produce. We expect that you will be on your own for up to 72 hours. By rehearsing the information given in this video, you and your family will be able to cope much easier with a catastrophic situation. If after viewing this video, you have questions about some of the information presented, we welcome you to call our Ventura County Office of Emergency Services. We can be reached through our TDD number of 805-656-1313 or our office number of 654-2551. We hope you enjoy the film.
Hello. Glad you could come over. You're right on time. Come on in.
Well, stranger, it's nice to see you again. For someone living right across the street, we sure don't get to see you very often. Well, come on in and have a seat. I hear the dog barking. I'll be right back. Excuse me.
Have a seat. The reason we wanted to get together with you is to talk about earthquakes. We've been thinking it would be a good idea to have a friend in the neighborhood involved in our family's earthquake preparedness plan.
And we'd like you to be that friend.
What do you think? Would you like to be part of our family plan?
Sure.
Good. We've never had any neighbors involved, but from what the earthquake literature says, everyone should have at least one neighbor involved with their plan so that they can check on the safety of each other after the earthquake hits. You know what I mean?
You can get all this earthquake information from both the local and state offices of emergency services. We want you to be prepared. That way, we'll be able to depend on each other after the quake.
Thanks.
Hey, why don't you tell us about your earthquake emergency plan?
Well, I don't have a plan.
You don't have an earthquake plan?
How about emergency supplies, extra food and water, or a first aid kit? You're not prepared at all.
You know, scientists are expecting a large earthquake to hit Southern California within the next 25 years.
It could hit us today or tomorrow, and it's supposed to measure over 8 points on the Richter scale. Japan had an earthquake in 1923 that measured 8.2 on the scale, and it killed over 143,000 people. Most recently, the 1985 Mexico City earthquake killed over 10,000 people, leaving many thousands homeless.
It's pretty frightening to realize the same thing could happen here, leaving many people homeless and without jobs for years.
We don't want to scare you, but this is something you should be concerned about. Your life and your home need to be protected.
You're the only one who can take care of yourself. When the big quake hits, everyone is going to be concerned about their own personal safety, the safety of their family, and the safety of their home. That's why the information in those earthquake pamphlets is so very important. And because you're living alone, you must be able to depend on yourself.
I'm glad you'll be a part of our plan. Now, after the quake, we can help you and you can help us.
Hi. How are you?
Good, and you?
Fine. Mom and Dad said you were coming by to join our meeting. This is going to be fun. Did I miss anything?
Well, we've been discussing our earthquake plan, but it seems he doesn't know much about it. He doesn't have an earthquake plan or emergency supplies.
Really?
Well,
But don't worry. This will give us a chance to review our plan, as well as to help you prepare your own, okay?
yeah.
Why don't we show him what he needs to know to prepare his home before an earthquake? Hey, let's start on the outside of the house. Your electric circuit box may look like this. You need to know how it works, because you may have to turn the electricity off going into your home. This switch is very important. It's called the main power switch. If I want to turn off the electricity entering my house, I'll pull this lever down. Got it? Your circuit box could be different. Like this one. You can call your electric company and ask them to explain how it operates. If, after a quake, you suspect the wiring in your home has been damaged, then turn off the main power switch to protect your home from any electrical fires. Do you understand?
Oh, yes.
We understand.
Sure. Now I'll show you the gas meter. This is the gas meter. You should know how to turn it off. If the gas lines are damaged and you smell gas, you should turn it off. To do this, you will need a wrench. It's best to keep it near your meter at all times, so you won't have to go searching for one after the earthquake. You'll know it's there. It should be this type of wrench. If the gas pipes are damaged, or you smell gas, turn it off. This is the shut-off valve. Turning it horizontally is off, and vertically is on. I can't turn it off now. If I did, we'd have to call a gas company to send someone out to turn the gas back on and relight our gas pilots, like in the water heater. So don't turn off your gas unless you need to after a quake, okay?
Okay.
Can I show him how to turn off the water?
Well, okay. Come on, let's go.
This is the water shut-off valve at the house. It controls all the water entering the house. If the earthquake damages the water pipes in your home, you should turn off the water here to save the inside of your home from being flooded.
I see.
Okay, we're not done yet. Come on. There's another valve at the street. Here's the street valve. To turn it off, you will need a wrench. Do you see this valve? This valve controls the water from here at the street up to the other valve I just showed you. Some homes don't have the valve at the house. So, if the earthquake damages the water lines, this valve will turn off all the water. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Was I right?
Yes, very good. Now for the dirty job. I'm glad you're wearing those clothes. Follow me. Welcome to the basement. What do you think? Sorry about that. Look at the foundation. You know, back in the 1940s, many homes were built differently than today. During a quake, your home could literally fall off its cement foundation, causing severe structural damage. You can solve that problem by installing bolts, like these, over here. They will help the house stay secured to the foundation. There is another way to secure the house to its foundation and prevent it from shifting. See these wood 4x4 beams? They support the floor structure in your home. During an earthquake, they could shift off the foundation and the floor collapse. The best way to keep the 4x4 beams in place is to do what I've done here. These heavy-duty angle brackets will help prevent the 4x4 beams from falling out of place during the earthquake. It doesn't matter if the quake is large or small. They may help save you thousands of dollars worth of repairs. Anchoring your home in these two ways is good protection. Also, you might consider buying home earthquake insurance, but that's your decision to make. Now let's go upstairs and continue our discussion about our earthquake preparedness plan. Okay? Feel better? It's your own fault for being so clumsy under the house.
Thank you.
The next subject we should discuss is how to earthquake-proof the inside of your home. There are many areas to be aware of. You should have smoke detectors in different parts of your home. We have one in the kitchen, living room, and hallway adjoining our bedrooms. All heavy objects should be kept on low shelves or securely fastened down. Otherwise, they could fall and break, or even worse, fall on you during the quake. You should also keep hanging objects away from places where they might fall on you during the earthquake. Mirrors, framed pictures, and plants are dangerous because people often hang them over couches, chairs, and beds. And if you have any large plate glass windows, you may want to consider replacing them with safety glass. Safety glass won't shatter and throw glass pieces everywhere like non-safety glass could when the earthquake hits.
You will also need to fasten all top-heavy furniture and appliances to wall studs. For instance, your bookcases, your refrigerator, your washer and dryer, and especially your hot water heater all need to be secured. To do this, you're going to need heavy wire, cable, and metal strapping. You'll also need a variety of tools to do that job correctly. Also angle brackets and wood screws. It's best if you allow for some minor movement of the object you're securing. Your main concern is that it doesn't fall over. Understand?
Yes.
Why don't you tell Peter about the cabinets and flammable liquids?
Okay, the cabinets in your kitchen and other rooms should have latches on them so that they stay closed during the earthquake. This will help save your dishes and other breakable items from falling out and breaking. You should also gather all of your home's common hazardous materials and take them to an outdoor storage area for your safety. Am I right?
Very good.
Good job.
After the earthquake, you will need safety supplies. Without them, you're risking your own safety. If the earthquake happens at night, you'll want to be prepared with a flashlight and extra batteries. Keep them near your bed. Remember, you can't depend on your electricity working, especially after a major earthquake. Each one of us has a flashlight next to our bed. We also keep pencils and paper with the flashlight, in case we need to write down notes to someone who doesn't know sign language. You should also have a type ABC fire extinguisher. The ABC means that it is an all-purpose extinguisher, and it will put out wood fires, flammable liquid fires, and electrical fires. We also keep a flashlight in the kitchen. Oh, and please, please don't use matches, a lighter, or candles, or even smoke after the earthquake. You could have a gas leak after the earthquake, and if you light a match, you can cause an explosion in your home. And that could be disastrous. After the earthquake, everyone will be frightened and confused. So stop and think before you take any action. You need to be calm to take the right action.
We're expecting to be confused after the quake, too. That's why we've made a list, like this one, of everything that needs to be done in and around our home. We have the most important actions for our safety listed by priority. We also have a map of our home, detailing exit ways, gas, water, and electricity, and other important features. And we keep this list with our emergency supply kit. An emergency supply kit is something you're going to need to put together.
You know, our county officials say that when the earthquake happens, everyone might have to survive on their own for 3 days.
Oh, that's awful.
Yes, this is the main reason they suggest that neighbors get together and talk about earthquake preparedness. So after the quake, everyone can depend on each other.
I see.
Your supply kit can be used to help yourself and others, too. Your supply kit is your survival kit, and it should have everything you might need for those 3 days.
You need to determine a safe place for your emergency kit, someplace where you can get to it if your home is severely damaged by the quake. We keep ours near our back door.
There are many places and ways to store your supplies safely. You can put them in a large container or store them in backpacks like these. Your kit should contain everything you need for 3 days of survival. Think of what you would need for a 3-day camping trip. Your kit should contain things like these. If the earthquake has severely damaged your home and you must evacuate, it's a good idea to leave a note with the address and telephone number of where you've gone. That way, if your family, friends, or neighbors come looking for you, they'll see the note and know you are all right. Hopefully, people will be able to rely on each other.
Right.
If you do evacuate your home, you should take your emergency supply kit, important documents like insurance papers. Oh, and don't forget some money.
Okay.
In your kit, you should also have a wrench, screwdriver, hammer, and a variety of other tools for any unexpected emergency.
A 3-day supply of food and water is important. 1 gallon of water per person per day is a good figure to use. And be sure to keep an extra 2 or 3 gallons for cooking. If you should need more water, you can get it from ice cube trays in your freezer, from your toilet tank, or hot water heater. You can sterilize any water that might not be safe to drink by adding 3 or 4 drops of chlorinated bleach to 1 quart of water. Just shake a little and let it sit for 1/2 hour. Or you can buy water purification tablets.
The food you keep in your kit should be enough to last 3 or more days. You'll want to store canned and dehydrated foods, including pet food if you have any pets. And don't forget a mechanical can opener and a few pots and pans for cooking. To heat your food and water, you're going to need a portable outdoor stove or grill, like these. And don't forget to store some waterproof matches. Remember, it's helpful to think about what you would take camping when you're putting your supplies together, okay?
Okay.
If your home is damaged and you have to sleep outside, be prepared with warm clothing, blankets, and sleeping bags. You may want to consider keeping a small tent with your supplies too. Some other items that you should include are toothbrush, soap, toilet paper, as well as plastic bags in case your toilets are not operating after the quake.
Staying informed on what the condition of the city is will depend on whether you have a battery-powered television or radio. My wife is hearing, so she can listen to any emergency broadcasts on the radio, while my daughter and I watch for emergency broadcasts on TV. We also have extra hearing aid batteries in our supply kit. Our daughter just completed a first aid class at school, so we're going to let her tell you about the first aid kit you need.
Our first aid kit has all the basic materials we might need after a quake. We have bandages, antiseptics to clean minor cuts. We also have scissors and tape, as well as aspirin and any other medication our doctor has prescribed. We also keep a first aid book with our kit. And every earthquake meeting, we always refresh our knowledge of first aid. Our county officials have said that the sheriff and fire and ambulance services might not be able to help everyone who needs help after a major earthquake. They suggest you call them only if you or a neighbor is in serious need of help. Even then, it may take a number of hours before they arrive. So, you need to be prepared with the basic knowledge of how to help a seriously injured person. Contact a local certified medical agency for a first aid book and check into taking a first aid class. The class will teach you all the basics of first aid and even CPR. Everyone should know how to do CPR. My folks and I took a class to learn how in only a few hours. It's easy to learn, and it can save a person's life. You should also keep some emergency supplies in the trunk of your car. A blanket, a first aid kit, flashlight, and extra water may all be necessary, whether you're at home or on the road.
I understand.
She's getting good at this.
Sure is.
Very good. You're remembering all the important details.
It's important to hold these meetings and drills a couple of times a year so everyone knows what action to take when the earthquake hits.
And we'll look forward to meeting with you every 6 months.
Okay.
It's important for everyone to know what action they should take during the earthquake to protect themselves.
During the quake, your actions will determine your own personal safety. If you're inside, don't leave. Trying to run outside is the way most people get hurt. So, if you're indoors, stay there. Get under a sturdy object, like a desk, a table, or even a bed. Another option is to get on the floor and protect yourself with your hands and arms. And remember, to stay away from windows and bookcases, anything that could fall on you. Follow these same rules no matter where you are, at home, work, or school.
My job with the electric company keeps me outdoors most of the day. There are different actions you need to take to protect yourself if you're outdoors when the earthquake hits. Your first concern is to get into an open area away from all buildings, trees, and power lines. Remember, most people injured during an earthquake are injured by objects falling on them.
If you're driving in your car when the earthquake hits, you should pull to the side of the road and stop your car. But be careful when you pull to the side of the road that you don't park next to buildings, large trees, under power lines, or under an overpass. Why don't you explain what to do after the earthquake?
The first thing to do after the earthquake is to check yourself for injuries. If you haven't been injured, then go ahead and check on the condition of others, your family members and neighbors. That's why you're here with us today, so we can learn how to depend on each other.
Right.
My parents have developed a family plan of what to do after an earthquake that happens at night. This situation is possibly the most difficult to deal with because many large earthquakes have happened at night, while most people were sleeping. And if the electricity goes out, it can be very frightening. The chances of an earthquake happening at night or during the day are the same. So, you can see why everyone needs to be prepared for a nighttime quake.
I sure can.
Let me explain about the plan Mom and Dad developed. Are you ready?
You betcha.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If the earthquake happens at night, we'll first get under something sturdy to protect ourselves until the quake stops. We then come out and check for personal injuries. We get dressed in warm clothes and sturdy shoes to guard against stepping on broken objects on the floor. Grabbing pencil, paper, and flashlight, we check on each other and head to the kitchen. In the kitchen, we make sure none of the appliances were turned on by falling objects. This is important to lessen the chances of possible fire starting. From the kitchen, our meeting point, we all separate and do different jobs. My job is to go through the house and look for anything that looks out of place, that could be dangerous, like electrical damage and plumbing problems. If I find a serious problem, I'll tell Mom and Dad immediately. I'll also put the telephone receivers back on the hook. This is important, so the telephone lines won't be tied up. There are only two reasons you should use the phone. One is if you are in need of urgent emergency help. For example, your house is on fire or someone's been seriously injured. The second reason would be to let a prearranged relative or friend know that you are safe. As I'm checking the rest of the house for other damage, Dad goes outdoors to look for electrical line damage on the telephone poles and at the circuit box. If the lines are down, stay away from them. They may still be charged. If Dad finds electrical damage, he will pull the main power switch, shutting off all the electricity going into the house. Mom is busy checking for gas leaks inside and outside the house. She looks for broken lines and smells for leaking gas. If she smells gas, she'll turn off all the gas entering the house at the gas meter. And if I find any broken water pipes or flooding inside, I will turn off the water entering the house. Dad will probably check on your safety now. And return if you're okay. We all know that at any time we could have large aftershocks. When these happen, we will all meet back in the kitchen to check on each other's safety. Then check the house again. Another job of mine is to make sure our dog is tied up. Pets will be scared by the earthquake. They need to be tied up so they don't run off. While I'm with the dog, Mom and Dad will check the outside of the house for structural damage and determine if it's safe for us to remain indoors, or whether we should move our emergency supplies to the yard, or to an emergency shelter, or to a prearranged friend's home. That's you. Mom and Dad will also check on the condition of the garage or outdoor storage area and clean up any spilled, hazardous materials. After we've determined the house is safe, the three of us will begin checking on our other neighbors. We'll take first aid supplies and the first aid manual. Mom will be listening to the radio. If we find anyone injured, we'll be able to care for them properly. Seriously injured people should be kept warm and not moved. The rest of the night, we'll watch over the injured and check their home for safety. We'll keep cleaning up and talking with neighbors about important emergency information being broadcast over the radio and TV. The best thing that can happen is if all the neighbors join together and help each other. Was that clear?
You remembered everything. That was wonderful.
Well, that's about it. The only other thing you should be aware of is that if you're at work when the earthquake hits, you should help your fellow employees. You'll get home when you can. Until then, we want you to know you can count on us to watch over your home. Okay?
Thanks. I'll help you too.
And don't forget your homework.
After you've read over the materials, we'll come over and help you prepare your home.
Thank you very much. Take care.